I always want to go live when I'm eating. I mean, some of this, what is it, biscotti? These little cookies you're supposed to eat when you're drinking coffee. These things.
Yeah. How many have you eaten?
I don't know if Dom is familiar with that. These are called cookies. Fish and chips. Of course, we're live here. We have Dom, aka the Duke of Funk. What's going on, everyone out there in Giant Land? What's going on, Mike Lee? The rant begin. No, we are a kinder, gentler show today because Dom is here. We're woos. Enhancing our chi.
We are zen.
We are zen.
We're not talking giants today. That's why we're zen, right? Because as soon as we talk giants, I think the zen might end.
We are the Zen Nation. Let the khakis boy out. What's going on, my friend Muslim? How you doing today? Oh, Alex Sports is in the house, and it's the Dom chant. Dom. It's the Dominator. It's the Dom. Dom. We got to talk Giants. Yes, we have. Yes, we have to.
Do you know what? When I get irritated, I'm always told to count to 10. And I'd love the Giants offense to learn to count to 10 because we don't get there very often.
They don't count to 10. They get to about the 7 and they figure, hey, well, first of all, there's always that joke. I mean, what happens when the Giants get to the goal line? Like Daniel Jones, they can't score. Hey, hey, Giants fan 8. I was just going. I figured you were a Rams fan. Why not? Go Rams. Dom, we are picking new teams. I'm going with the Cardinals, even though they lost last night. So that's going to be my team. So who is Dom going? And the London Monarchs are not a chance. You can't pick the London Monarchs. Throwing that out there.
I'm going for the Lamplighters.
You can't go to the London Lamplighters either. Wait, I like this on Chargers. Certainly dominated us for 4 quarters.
Oh, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Oh, who am I going for?
Not from Link Willis.
So I'll cheer on the Bills, but I do actually pick a team every year when the Giants inevitably fail for the playoffs. And I don't normally pick the team I think is going to win. I just pick the team that I want to win the most, but not the Titans. I'm not a big Titans fan, never have been. And I can't back the Cardinals because I ragged on them earlier this year. And
I'm gonna eat a cookie because you're dragging us down here, so I need some sugar.
Yeah, I can't go Cardinals because you said they'd be good, and I said they wouldn't, and yeah, I was badly wrong.
You were wrong. You were wrong. Admit it, you were wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%.
James Williams got the Bills Mafia. What's up, James? Thank you for the email the other day. Actually made my day. Sometimes I get emails that make my day. Because sometimes, Dom, you go to there's a section in YouTube that has the comments because YouTube flags comments, and there's like a regular section of flag comments, and then there's another button that says click here to see the profane comments. All my comments seem to go into the profane double section. It's like double bagging your porn. That's how bad it is. So James actually sent me a very nice email. So thank you, James. So who's the team, Dom?
I said Bills. Bills. That's who I'm going with. You
can't go with Bills. James has got Bills.
Yeah, I said it.
No, you have to one team a person.
I'm going to be left with the Lions.
You go with the Lions. All right. What's up, James? What's up, Dom? Salute to both of you. I'm going to give a double salute here. Wearing my military hat. There's a
lot of puns on my name in here, to be fair.
There are. There are. It's the pun game.
Have you seen Mike Lee's comment?
Oh my God! No, my comment section is running very slowly. Here we go. Just came in.
Big deal.
Dom, root for the real.
I can't do that.
Come on. Who's your team? Come on. Can't be the Patriots either because that's king of the idiots.
No, I know. Because I keep picking poor teams, I'm going to go for the Bears because then they will tank and then we'll get a higher draft pick. So I'll go with the Bears.
Listen, I went with the Chargers and look how that happened. Look what happened there that day. I went to throw the whammy on the Chargers by wearing the Chargers jersey, and then at one point we're down 37-7. So I was like, well, I think I reverse whammied the team. I think that's in the problem. What's up, James? What's up, room? What's up, everybody? We're all rooting for the good guys. Why root for Belichick's coaching tree when I can get the man himself? Think Belichick would ever come to this mess?
No.
Okay, moving on.
I think he retires when he leaves the Pats, right?
You think he retires? You think he calls it quits?
Yeah. Why would you not?
I don't know. Why would you?
You know, he's not getting sacked there anytime soon. You know, it's
Dom should be a Jags fan.
Well, it's not a bad shout. I mean, they're probably going to come to London. But I can't root for them all the time. They got Urban Meyer because he nicked my stripper pole.
What the hell is going on with Urban Meyer, man? The team evidently hates him. I mean, but you know what the bad part is? No one from Jacksonville wants to go to the Giants. They said, we could trade you anywhere. And they all said, no, don't send us to New York. We'll go to the Jets.
I'm in New York.
We'll go to the Jets, but we're not going to the Giants.
It's Urban's looking increasingly one and done, isn't he? He's burning bridges all over the place.
Well, the worst part is he stopped his he lost a USC job. He seemed kind of pissed that he lost out on that. Tim, will the Giants hire Scott Pioli to be their new president of football operations and general manager? I don't think so. I think if you are going with a GM, a new GM, and you're being told you have to keep Joe Judge, who would be the logical choice? Dom?
It's got to be someone out of New England or someone internal, but I think that would be a rum call, to be fair.
Maybe a guy that's been with the organization since 98. A guy who's our capologist.
It's a scary thought, isn't it?
It's a scary thought that you have Kevin Abrams sitting there and people are like, oh, let's hire Kevin. Kevin's been running our cap since like 98. We've been in cap hell now twice in like 5 years. Why would we sit there and go to this guy who adds worse than I do and say
that's saying something.
And that's saying something. And say, my son was doing fractions the other day. And he said, what's half of a whole? And I said, well, what are we eating? Because I said pizza's different than cake. Because if it's pizza, you know, it's this. If it's cake, I want this. So that's my math logic. So Dom, why? Don't laugh at me. Shut up. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be famous. I'm doing overnights. And back.
I don't miss my overnights.
I know we were talking about that.
Yeah. That was with Urban again. We had fun.
For little known fact that what most people don't know, Dom used to work in a strip club, so that's why he had strip club. So he used to work overnight. He used to work 12 to 6 because strip clubs are open 24 hours in the UK. Right?
I was a bouncer.
You were a bouncer. Now, in all fairness, it was in the Keebler Elf tree when this happens. So,
it was in Middle Earth.
It was in Middle Earth. Said baseball. Oh, wait, we got a lot of comments here. Wait, James Williams says Ohio State is a college team I root for, but Urban Meyer's embarrassing himself in Jacksonville. Yeah, not wrong. Louis Riddick, though. Louis Riddick was the guy, of course, that was in the running for the job, got bashed the crap out of the Giants after he didn't get the job, and now people want him. Do you think people want him, Dom, because they're like, well, you know, he's speaking honesty and truth about the Giants, or do you think they just want anything that's different? I'm gonna eat a cookie.
I mean, anything is different, right? I mean, you have to. It has to be different. Like, it's been bad for so long. It has to be different. Am I convinced Louis Riddick is the man? Then no. I think if you look at some of the draft choices he's picked in recent years, saying what he would have done if he'd been the Giants GM, I'm not sure it would have been a whole lot better. But you never know. When you're in the job, you've got a whole team around you helping you out. I'm not saying you haven't when you're in the media studios, but it's a different process, and that might have altered his thinking. And I think a good GM is not just decisive, but listens to those around him and listens to a scouting report. Wouldn't be my choice. I don't necessarily have a favorite candidate, but I think I'd prefer someone that's been sort of working in the league as opposed to in the TV studios to come in and do the role.
Well, before we get into the stripper comments, because evidently there's tons of them for you, this is a good one by Kyle. Riddick wanted Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
To me, that should
As you
eliminate you for any contention of any job ever again. I said I hated Dwayne Haskins. I said I hated him coming out of the draft. And I broke down all the reasons why I hated him. And I was told I was a racist. But then I love Justin Fields. I don't know. And I want Malik Willis, but I'm a racist. Yeah, I mean that should automatically just negate you from any job ever again. Dom was doing.
How's the Washington GM doing on the back of that pick?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How's the Washington GM doing on the back of that pick?
Yeah, I don't think he's doing too well either. How, Dom, were you doing the full Monty at the strip club?
No, I did it.
That's coming from Mike Lee. It's not coming from me.
I did it in the Dole Queue in Sheffield. Look up the reference if you're not familiar.
I'm going to have to look up the reference, but I can't Google and work at the same time. Oh, my God. Let's see here. Oh, I like this one by James Williams because Bernie Mac, who, God rest his soul, is one of my favorite comedians. Dom worked with Bernie Mac at the Players Club. We be clubbing. I love Bernie Mac.
Bernie and the Duke of Funk.
You are the Duke. I still love the fact that I told a young subscriber to look up the Duke of Funk because we called Dom the Duke of Funk. And I told this young subscriber went to me and sent me an email and said, "Why do you call Dom the Duke of Funk?" I said, "Because he looks just like George Clinton, the Duke of Funk." And he Googled him, of course. And then I got an email like an hour later and goes, "Dom's not black." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Maybe there was a different George Clinton. I didn't know about the Duke of Funk." But Dom is just funky. That's what it is. He's just funky.
According to our logo, I look like a British comedian called Josh Widdicombe, except a slightly more rotund version.
I don't know who that is. Can we get
no need for you? No reason why you would. But he looks like me on the logo that we've got.
Can we get Tim as the GM? I'll have confidence in that. No, I'm going to be a famous radio host. I'm going to be too busy being my radio show. No, I couldn't be the GM. No, you wouldn't be the GM. I'd wreck shit even worse. Oh my God. Tim and Dom with Parsons. Will Parsons. Parsons to me has got to win the Rookie of the Year. I mean, I think everyone knows outside of Devontae Smith that we weren't getting who my next choice was. I mean, Elvis
Parsons was my first choice. All in. Like no ifs, no buts, no maybes. No one else ahead of him.
No, I had Smith ahead of him because I did think we needed a quality wide receiver. Not looking at you, Kadarius Toney. How do you get?
I don't disagree that we needed other pieces, but I just thought he was. I just really loved him. I just thought he was the best player on the board.
Oh, I agree. Like I said, I thought
he also was a position of need, and that's
when he was sitting there. I think we were both getting excited.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
And what happened? I mean, I remember that stream because the air just went. dropped out of the room. And then when Dallas of all teams picked him up
and traded down.
Oh, Zach Attack. Of course, thank you all. Super chats. Go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Give till it hurts for the kids. What does Dom think of Mara saying Joe Judge is Bill Parcells a Belichick? Watch Urban Meyer be the Giants' new head coach. Okay, what do you think? I mean, I did a video on that today. What do you think, Dom? And I'll eat a cookie.
That's what she said.
What do you think of that stupidity? I don't know if we don't know if this comment was actually attributed to John Mara. It's been rumored. It's been speculated. This is what he said. But if he did say this, that he's in the mold of Parcells and Belichick, what would you say?
I would ask if Stevie Wonder was our new owner. I mean,
she said.
I mean, at this moment in time, right? I mean, how can you possibly say that? Like, these are two of the best coaches in the NFL ever. Like, you know, and Joe Judge has won 10 games. It's not like he's won 10 games, having coached 10 games. He's won 10 games.
He's won 10 games.
I just, no, I mean, it's complete and utter madness. And if we're moving on for Gettleman, I think that's clear. We have to move on from Joe Judge, regardless of his record or not. He's not done enough to keep his job, regardless or not of whether you think he turns it around or not. You have to clean house. You have to go again. You have to track the best GM there is because the team needs a rebuild and a fresh start, and it has to be gone. But it does appear as if we are looking to be staying all aboard the Joe Judge train, and I'm not convinced. I'm not even not convinced. It's not the right decision at all.
This is a good one by James. How embarrassing is it going to be that we're going to be Dak Prescott's get right game this Sunday. I don't even want to talk about that because it's good to me. That's beyond an embarrassment.
Well, I mean, it will. I mean, does anyone see us beating the Cowboys? We can't stop the run. They're going to run it down our throats all day long, and then Dak will refine some form, I'm sure. And even if he doesn't, they've got enough to win without Dak playing well.
I only wanted Slater because I knew we needed offensive line help. I get crap by certain people because I didn't like Slater, and I still don't like Slater. And I still say if you put Slater on this team, he's not going to be the Slater that he is in Cali because of the fact that California love. Sorry.
I think the case to back that up is Mac Jones. Take Mac Jones out of the Patriots. Is he the quarterback he's been this year? Now, different position.
If you put Mac Jones on the Giants, he's worse than Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And look, Slater's played really well this year. I thought if you take Slater, he's not a tackle. He's an interior offensive lineman. That's where I thought he'd end up playing. But he's played really well.
Tim, ESPN has mocked Willis going to the Deadskins. No. I already had a fit once. No. He can go. If he doesn't go to the Giants, he can go anywhere else but the NFC East. Because I really do not want to be an Eagles fan. And I don't want to be a Washington fan. And I don't, he's not going to the Cowboys, so I'm good with that. So no.
They'll be too busy picking a new name. It's fine.
Let me finish that with one more phrase. No, it's not happening. What's John got up here? Yo, can you please wear the Elvis costume for no reason? If the Giants beat Cowboys, you have to. Listen, I don't need a reason to wear the Elvis costume. You could ask the wife that last night. I don't need a reason in the world. I'll put that on. The problem is the wig is shot because my son wore the wig for Halloween. He was dead Elvis, but I still have the coat. But I'll get another wing. Yes, you know what? I will wear the Elvis. If the Giants beat Dallas, I will wear the Elvis costume all week. And I'm not just talking about it in my videos and streams. I'll just wear it all week. That's what I will do for you, John. As long as Dom dresses up as the queen. No?
Oh, I think we're on fairly safe territory.
No? Come on, Dom. Put your money where your mouth is, or where your girdle would be.
Yeah, go on then. It's not going to happen, so fine.
I hope to God now they win. Because I want to see you in a crown. Or no, I guess it would be a crown, not a tiara.
Yeah, she wears tiaras for state banquets. Crown's quite heavy.
I didn't know that. That's good information. But Joe hasn't had the benefit.
I made it up, but it sounded authoritative.
You sounded good though. But Joe hasn't had the benefit of a healthy DJ with all of his weapons. We need to give him another year to see what we have.
Where's that sarcasm button?
I don't know. I mean, look, you know what the problem is? I have the new soundboard. I have just been lazy setting it up, and I have no clue where the sarcasm is in bank 5. See, this is the problem. I got to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got the problem is I literally have to count out loud. Because I'm going to break the news to you guys. I'm old, so I can't see that far.
Just while you're doing that, do you want me to show you Daniel Jones?
There we go. Sarcasm. There we go. Now we got that. That.
While you count out loud, do you want me to do my Daniel Jones counting out loud impression as he scans the field for available people to pass to?
Yes, Queen. One. Okay. Can't get past. Oh, I like Todd here with let's go Daniel Jones a tight end. Oh wait, we got Dom. We got a Dom question right. How did I miss this one? Dom, get some of the girls you used to work for with go to the Dallas hotel he's staying at, and hopefully give them a long night before the game.
They'd still beat us.
and listen, you know what the best thing is about British strippers? There's no dollar bills. It's in coins. So if you're a stripper,
I'm not going to say what the slot is.
If you have to use coins, if you have to collect coins in your G-string, they might. Yeah, I mean, oh, poor Dom. This is what happens when you have the stripper pull out.
Still haven't managed to put it back up on the ceiling where it fell down from.
I love this one. If the Giants win, I can't even say the name. It would be incredible to see you as Elvis and Dom as Prince Charming.
I don't think even my wife would describe me as looking like Prince Charming.
I like it. I got a DM here. I got a private message. Quick thing. Yes, I was offered a opportunity to do overnight fill-ins for a New York State radio station. We are in the contractual legal process right now of figuring out, and it's just overnights. It's just fill-in. So that means if someone's sick or they take vacation, I would fill in. It's from the hours of 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. I know it. It sounds sexy. I know.
I can tune in with my breakfast.
Yeah, at least that. There's no drinking allowed either. So I mean, it's not like I can stay up and drink and do it at the same time. But yes, that I will have more new. If everything comes to fruition, I will have an announcements before year end, and it will start in the third week in January. So what the contracts is probably going to say so. But we'll talk about that in another time. What's up, Zach Attack? Joe Judge is the greatest losing coach in NFL history.
Can I take issue with this point?
Sure.
He's not lost a single game. It was either the headset.
Mm-hmm. Point.
It was a conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, it has never been his fault. It has been everybody else's fault but Joe Judge. So he's not a losing coach.
Nope.
When you take into account his responsibility for the team.
It's everyone's fault. No one did it but Joe Judge. It's everyone's fault but Joe Judge. We all know that. We all know what the reason is.
I ran out of gas. I had a
hang on.
I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My trucks didn't come back from the cleaner.
Joe Judge.
An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault. I swear to God.
That's Joe Judge in the press conference. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Mr. Authentic is in the house. Mr. Authentic, how are you doing today, my friend? Hope everything is going well. If you don't know Mr. Authentic, I think it's the beard of Mr. Authentic or Mr. Authentic in the beard. I can't remember what the phrase is. But go look him up on YouTube. Go follow him on YouTube. Mr. Authentic, if you want to put your link to your YouTube page in there, please do so. You're a good guy. And you make great content. So what are you going to say, Dom?
I've just had Urban on the phone. He'd like to take issue with Joe Judge being the greatest losing coach in NFL history.
This is a good question, though, by Timothy. Will the Bears name Patrick Graham their new head coach if they fire Nagy at the end of the season?
No, I don't see why they would. I think Matt Nagy is a dead man walking in Chicago, but I don't think it'd be Patrick Graham. I don't think you've seen enough from him. He did a good job with the Finns in the one. Did a good job here with us last year, but you've not seen a progression, and I think there are other candidates better qualified than Graham.
Here's the season. Thank you again, Zachary, for the super chats. All super chats go to the kids. Give it to the kids, guys. It's Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas. I will probably match donations this year. I mean, this December, and I want to try to give the donations before the 23rd. So we'll probably do a bunch of streams before then. Is this season 17 2.0 or is it even worse? Question you, Dom.
In some ways it's worse, but that could be because we're living it right now. And I think I think it probably is worse because I think expectations were high. Maybe they were in 2017 as well. I'm trying to remember back, but you kind of remember now. But I just don't see where the hope is now. I think it's a hard decision between the two. Either way, we're in purgatory and we need to start again.
We're in purgatory, and you know what? We all know what it is because Mr. Authentic said it best. It's all Jason Garrett's fault. We know this. Headsets, Jason Garrett's fault. Signing Kenny G, Jason Garrett's fault. Giving Adoree Jackson and Leonard Williams the money, that was Jason Garrett. None of it's my fault. I didn't do it. Bart Simpson. I always thought you had a radio voice. Well, thank you. My voice is melodious. While listening to your videos, no shocker. Listen, it's a shocker to me that anyone would want me. I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I think some people have noticed that. Columbo. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Alex. What do we got, Alex? Columbo was the fall guy last year. This year is Garrett. I don't think Columbo was the fall guy last year. I do think he was a Garrett hire, and I don't think that, and personally, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Joe Judge liked the fact that he was potentially forced to take Jason Garrett, and that Jason Garrett brought over Mark Columbo.
I'm not sure if Mark Colombo was senior enough guy to be a full guy, really, to be honest with you.
Well, he was working with our you know, he
was working with
number
offensive
one
line.
pick.
Yeah, he was, but I think there's a big difference between that and say Jason Garrett as a firing coordinator to an offensive line coach. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had an important key role on the team, but I'm not sure that's right in terms of he was a full guy. But it does sort of add to the pattern of Judge sort of blaming everyone but Judge.
Because it's never Judge's fault. But Mike Lee says it best. Don't forget, he perfected the press conference wins. He perfected the press conference, Judge. He really did. Here it is. It's Joe Judge. Joe Judge. Joe Judge. I have a question for you, please. Are you available for questions? Joe, how was the win today? Okay. All right. That's what I hear when I hear Joe Judge talk in his press conferences. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I like this one. Tim, your happy dance was so funny when we picked Slater. I forgot about the happy dance. Dom, talk about something. I'm going to eat a cookie. This is called ASMR. This is supposed to get more subscribers.
You need me to be quiet to make that a thing, right? But yeah, no, I mean, neither of us wanted Slater, right? I mean, but like we said earlier, he's done really, really well. And our drafting, yeah, again, leads a lot to be desired, but it's still early days, and you never know. But yeah, I think this is a good shout on the screen here. Chicago, this is Lewis. Chicago, we smart enough to hire Leftwich or Bieniemy. I don't know a lot about Leftwich, but Bieniemy certainly would be a potentially a very good hire. You never know with a first time head coach, and I think it's Bieniemy's first time. I can't recall.
It would be his first time. He is the coordinator over in KC. He interviewed and with the Giants when Joe Judge got the job. He didn't get a second interview because he was in the Super Bowl. The biggest knock on Bieniemy is the fact that he first a couple of years ago he was just installing the offense and Andy Reid was calling the plays. Now that's kind of not reverse, but now he's calling the plays. And I like Leftwich. I've always liked Byron. I was in Jacksonville. I was a Jacksonville season ticket holder when he was a quarterback. So he's a good kid. I don't think he gets the credit in Tampa that he deserves, but is anyone going to get any credit when they're playing with Tom Brady?
Ask Bill Belichick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Going to Arizona after the Miami game, Jason Garrett. I want to talk about something. I forgot about this. I want to talk about this. I forgot about this. I didn't forget about it because I talked about it on my video. The Giants are leaving Cali. California love. Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. As soon as I step on the scenes, you know, hoochers are screaming. Money and alcohol, the life of the West Side player. All right, you get on the plane. You're flying midair. You're having a good time. The phone rings. Kadarius Toney has COVID. How the hell do you get your entire team on a flight? This is the incompetence of the Giants without running complete COVID tests and getting results before you take off. Little known fact. You cannot stop midair and go to the urgent care. It's not possible. How, Dom? As a professional organization, how the hell does that cross your mind? We're gonna take off. Don't worry, nothing bad ever happens in the air. He's got COVID. Well, don't worry. Don't worry about this. We got this. We quarantined him on the plane. we put him in the back because you know what? You're not in a pressurized cabinet or anything. No, he had on an oxygen mask, and we put him in the bathroom. He was quarantined.
Someone open a window.
Somebody opened the window. On the yes, someone cracked the window open, and can we stop at exit 8A at the rest stop?
I mean, it's not funny. I mean, it's really not funny.
It is funny because you can't make this shit up.
But you cannot make this up. It is ridiculous. The lengths we go to make things an issue for ourselves. It's like we go, oh, we haven't had a bad news story about us for a couple of days. What can we do to create one? I mean, it's literally like, what is the worst possible decision we could make right now? Let's do that. I mean, it beggars belief. You look at the medical department and whatever the truth about the Jones injury when he got it, whatever, you know, it's all ending up. We're one of the most injured teams in football, and by the way, that's not an excuse because we are A, not the most injured team, and B, hey,
No,
it's
not.
injuries. It happens. It's part of football. You have to live with it. But the stupid, ridiculous decision makings we make behind the scenes is absolutely absurd, and it makes it absolutely farcical. The reports on Judge saying about how happy he is with the progress we're making with the intangibles off the pitch. Absolutely farcical and ridiculous and stupid. Honestly, it beggars belief.
I like Dom's big words. It's farcical. I don't know what that means. I got to look that up. I'm just joking. I do know what that means. But I mean, Dom, I mean, it's like.
I had to look winning up in a dictionary earlier.
So did Joe Judge, and he spelled it with an H. Oh, my God. Sorry.
That was good. I like that.
Sorry, I was being mean. But I mean, Dom, I mean, seriously, you are going cross country. And what the hell was Kadarius Toney doing that he got COVID again? Was he out with Urban Meyer?
I thought we cleared that up earlier. Yeah, he's out with Urban.
He's got to, because I just, it boggles the mind that we are a professional organization, but I just loved it though. I loved it. Don't worry. We quarantined him on the plane. We stuffed him in the overhead. It was all good. Nothing bad was going to happen.
To be fair, I reckon there'd be plenty of room for me in the overhead, to be fair. But honestly, like I said,
you could go in the seat below. Ridiculous. And go underneath the seat.
Just
Tom, you need a haircut.
I do need a haircut.
You do need a haircut.
But honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if we now have a COVID outbreak, and we now have 5-6 more players that can't go on the field because they're on the COVID list, we've only got ourselves to blame. We really do.
Here will be the best part with the Giants if we have a COVID outbreak. They'll be like, I don't know how it happened. We didn't have all of our players on a plane with a guy who had COVID because we didn't get the test back until we were midair. I don't know what happened. How that happened? Let me check the tape.
I was going to say, the plus side is the tape would make it quite clear. Honestly, D. Honestly, you like you say, you can't make this up. How can we be this bad? Seriously, how can we be this bad?
And this stupid at the same time. Joe Judge knows he's going to get fired eventually, so he's setting up a dispensary business in Glendale. You can set those up anywhere now. So, I mean, there's one down the road from me. I live in farm country, so there's pot everywhere. At least I think there is. Either that or it's corn. I don't know. Oh, wait, there's a fun fact.
Easy to mix them up.
I like fun facts. You want a fun fact? And it's from Logic's Finest, because I believe he's in Germany, right? He's got a fun fact. Are we ready for the fun fact? Fun fact. Jet airplanes are airtight to maintain cabin pressure. The air is then recirculated slowly to replace the external. Either way, you can spread airborne infections very easy. Yes, that's the joke. That's the joke, man. You get on a plane and it's like, don't worry, it'll be all right. He's not breathing the same air as we are.
The good news is, though, to make sure he's okay, he's now house sharing with Kenny G. Just to make sure he's looked after, because we're a caring organization. But don't worry, he'll stay in a separate room at all times, so we'll be fine.
Here's a good question: when Gellum is gone, though, can we never speak his name again?
I mean, could he be used to insult someone that's not doing well? Maybe. Otherwise, I'm happy.
Oh my God! Giants gonna win. Be ready to wear the Elvis outfit. I'll wear the Elvis outfit. I don't care. Will Dom dress up as Prince Charming? That I still say he should dress up as a queen. I will actually go out and buy an Elvis wig right now because they're on Amazon. I can have it here tomorrow.
Don't think you're going to need to worry.
I would die laughing if this happened. We need to listen to the song. Don't worry, be happy. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry.
Be happy.
There you go, Dom. There you go.
I'm pretty sure that he wasn't walking through cornfields. I'm pretty sure that was a different kind of plan.
Remember when everyone thought Tony was going to be the bright spot of the offense? Yeah, me neither. That wasn't me. I wasn't being mean. That wasn't me saying me neither. But I didn't like to pick.
Someone could have lived. I could have lived with one of the top 3 wide receivers. I wouldn't have picked wide receiver. We did differ on that. Even if Parsons wasn't there, I wouldn't have gone wide receiver. But I thought there were better players on the board than Tony.
When we traded down, I did not want to go wide receiver because there was better players on the board. You're right, than Tony was. There was better players at that point in time. Really appreciate you guys doing this. I enjoy all your content. Even the stuff,
it's fun. Happy to be here.
Even the stuff with Dom is here.
I'm happy to be here. It's the only time I get let out.
You look like you're in the same room all the time.
Yeah, that is true. This is also where I work at the moment because we're back in working from home over here.
I like this one. I never seen in my life a professional team reach rock bottom before they double down and go beyond rock bottom. You have to admit that Mara has a special skill set.
He's unique.
I literally can't deny that.
He's unique, a bit like Tony's route running.
He is, yes. But anyone that does not remember, I did a video and I've said it a million times. Scouts, the nicest thing they could say about Kadarius Toney's route running is he's unique. And unique usually means you're not very good at something if you're unique and you're the only one that does it that way.
In fairness, it could have been worse. It could have been Billy Price's scout report. And I can't remember who picked him up now in a trade.
I'm not sure. Oh, Dom as Queen Victoria.
I mean, I wouldn't have to do it. I'd just sit there and look grumpy. So I'm pretty much do that 9 to 5.
I was gonna say you could do that right now. I'm going to Amazon right now. Going to Amazon. I love doing this on my show, Dom, because you know what? This always brings in the viewers. Elvis wig, because I like to Google and do things on Amazon while I'm in the middle of my show because it's a lot easier that way. Well, they got some nice new Elvis wigs. They got some nice ones. I'm gonna get that one. I think I bought that one. You know what the worst part is about Amazon? They tell you when you have already bought something. So evidently I already bought the Elvis wig. Oh my God. Giants will mess up the GM pick. We'll be wishing we had Dave back. Would you ever think we'd be wishing that we had Dave back?
I mean, I think even if the next GM pick goes wrong, I don't think we want Dave Gettleman back, right?
Oh, I thought we were talking Dave Brown.
Well, either or. But I mean, look, no. We don't want either Dave back. Let's be honest. But we will mess up the GM pick if we insist on giving him Judge, right? No question. And if we double down and say it's Judge and Jones, I mean,
you know what's worse? In a 3-year period, Dave Brown has more wins than Daniel Jones. Just throwing it out there. He won 9 games his first year. His first year as a starter.
It's not hard. But in all seriousness, actually, in a serious question now, if we said a new GM has to keep Jones and Judge, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility, would you even bother getting rid of Gettleman?
Yeah, I would still get rid of Gettleman.
I mean, because I'm not sure who we're going to attract in. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Gettleman fan at all. I think he's done.
But here's a bigger question.
I've defended him in the past.
Here's a bigger question. If the Giants go into the game in San Diego 6-6, let's say we won 2 of those games that we should have probably won at the end. They go in 6-6 going into that San Diego game. Would we even fire Gettleman? Because then the team's 6-6 and showing an improvement already from last year.
Ooh. Who is San Diego?
There's Superchargers. I was waiting for that. I just like you can't even do LA Superchargers. It doesn't go. That's not the song. San Diego Superchargers. But thank you. But would you keep Gettleman?
No, I mean, no, because we're
6 going into the LA game.
You're 6-6 going into the LA game, having just put all your chips into the middle of a table, gone all out, and mortgaged your future for a 6-6 season. You know, the only reason I would say you might as well keep Gettleman for another year is because we're going to be terrible next year in a scenario where you have to keep Judge and Jones. Would be then you can just clean house next year and go, it's terrible. That's the only reason you could make a case of keeping Gettleman. And don't get me wrong, I've defended him in the past. I thought when he came in, you know, he had to. We were in cap hell. We had to rebuild, etc. But it hasn't worked, and you have to say, look, he had his opportunity and he's done.
Do you think the new general manager coming in for the Giants, if he's outside the house, keeps Judge, and basically does like the Jets did when they hired their general manager and they kept Adam Gase, and then the general manager fired Adam Gase at the end of the first season? Could you see a scenario like that?
Yeah, you can see a scenario like that very, very easily. I think Results are going to be tough to come by next year, regardless of who the head coach and GM is. I think we have to be honest about that right now, and we have to be looking to go, okay, let's tear it down and let's start again. And you see what happens, generally speaking, when teams do that. Go into full rebuild, it can be a struggle. But yeah, I could see that happening.
Joe Judge is a track coach who can't find his whistle. I think that about sums it up. What do you think?
That presumably the headset fell over his eyes.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to find sound effects. Vamp, Dom. Do some of your telephony joke.
Your telephony joke, yeah, because that's my forte.
Okay, well that really went well. That spot went well. Don't worry, guys. Later on, when we close this out, we're gonna do the final minute with Dom. And everyone knows I like to build Dom up as much as I possibly can. We always start off with the
draft, baby. Yeah.
And then Dom gives, and I build this huge build up for Dom and how wonderful he's going to be and how he's going to entertain us and how well it's going to go. Then all of a sudden Dom speaks and it's an explosion of fun. I can't wait. Fun fact. Another fun fact. Fun fact, if the pilot doesn't turn on the outside air circulation, the inside air of a passenger is not exchanged with the outside air at all. Why? Because they are airtight pressure cabins. I'm beginning to think they're airtight pressure cabins. I'm not sure. Oops.
I'm going to take his word for it.
Let's get the banner going for Sunday's game flying across MetLife. Fire Mara, fire Getty, fire Judge. What do you think?
If only we could fire Mara, right?
Yeah, we can't. He was 51% of the team. What are you going to dress up for next draft, Tim? I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. It's not next year yet. Well, I wish it was next year.
We all do.
I wish it. I hate this comment. And Grant, I think you put this in the comment section, and I hate this comment. I really hate this comment. Judge is Matt Patricia 2.0. Patricia got a year 3. Did he get a year 3? I'm almost positive he got a year 3.
I think he did, yeah.
And how did that work out? I don't remember.
Terribly well. It's going brilliantly for the organization there.
He's still
absolutely
the best.
Flying into the number 1 pick. Although I quite like their I don't think you can blame that on their head coach this year, but
no, I can't. But we can. I'd still fire Gettle because if you would just be another false hope season because we suck at drafting. He's not lying. If you go back to Gettleman's first draft, I mean, who's going to be on the team next year besides Barkley? And Barkley's going to be on the team because we picked up his 5th-year option, unless he's traded. But that money's guaranteed, so you're going to take the dead cap space hit. Okay, you know what? I want to talk about something, Dom. I want to talk about something. No, I want to talk about something here. I have to get this off my chest. I have to pontificate. I forgot the nice big word you used earlier, and I was going to use that, and I forgot. To all the junior capologists that I see on the Twitter sphere and the other spheres. If you take money from somebody's contract, you have to remember that first year salary usually goes against your cap, not the other team's during a trade. Ergo, also, if you have salary or bonuses that have been extended out through the life of a contract, because let's just say you have no cap space, and you decide, hey, we're going to just push this money out and give it to him as bonus money down the road. When you get rid of that guy, that bonus money doesn't go away from your dead cap space. So when you're doing projections and saying the Giants can have $40 million in cap space, you also have to look at a couple factors. Factor number 1, all the players you were cutting, you now have 33 players on your team. And if I'm not mistaken, Dom, you need 53. And if you're picking in the top 5 twice, 2 top 5 picks, let's say, actually 2 top 10 picks, your rookie draft pool is going to be minimum a cap hit of $3.5 to $4 million for each player, not counting the bonus money, which is in the 20s, not counting any of that. So your rookie cap pool could be in excess just for your first round picks of anywhere between 7 to 10 million just in salaries. Then you need to break down into the rule of 51, which we have talked about ad nauseum on this show. AKA, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to work the cap. There's reasons why you're not working the cap. And there's reasons why I've been off maybe $100,000 when I do my cap breakdowns. Why? Because you have to take in all this stuff. That's my rant. Say something. Say something nice now. Oh,
no, you're spot. Unfortunately, I can't. You're absolutely spot on. There is no money.
Mm-mm.
The vault is empty. There's nothing. It is going to be a massive struggle next year, and 100%. Let's say we have the 5th and the 8th pick, for argument's sake, in the draft. You have to trade down one of those picks,
right?
Get the extra assets.
And people said I was crazy.
That way, you have to. You absolutely have to.
You have to trade into at least to the top 15. No lower than 15. But you cannot have 2 within the top 6.
Not with where we hit with the salary. You just can't.
You can't.
I mean, I'd love to pick 2 in the top 10. Well, we'd probably mess it up, but but I'd love to. 2. You should hit in the top 10. Really 2 big hits.
Where was Daniel Jones?
Would be great. Yeah, I mean, but let's be honest. Corners, tackles, quarterbacks, 3 of the hardest. You're most likely to miss. In fairness, and Dave Gettleman's not the only one to miss.
We said nice about something about Gettleman.
Sorry,
said something nice about Gettleman.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I have defended him at times, but it's over. But you have to trade that down. We can't afford not to. We literally cannot afford not to.
What's up, Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis for RPM Auto, not audio. If you need a car, don't go far. It's RPM Auto. Mr. Lewis will find you a car. He'll bring it to your house. He'll do all the hard work. He'll do all the paperwork. All you have to do is just sit back and relax.
Are you practicing for filling in if the adverts go down on the show, but you're just gonna make?
Oh, I do commercials for Mr. Lewis all the time. I do it all the time. I just like singing. You know that. Oh, well, here's a great word. This is my favorite word: bamboozled. There was 2 words from the last stream: was bamboozled and something else. Hoodwinked. Hoodwinked was the other word.
Nice, like hoodwinked.
What's that?
I like hoodwinked.
I liked hoodwinked. That was a good word. It's hoodwinked.
We've got Ace Ventura in the stream. I'm assuming he's following the Dolphins now.
Where's Ace? Oh, there's Ace Ventura. We'll get down to Ace. We got to get to some of these other comments here because here was a good one by Ace Ventura. Well, that didn't work out too well. If we had a legit quarterback and a decent line, you would be praising Joe Judge. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Because I'm going to tell you right this. If we had a decent quarterback and a decent offensive line, we probably never would have got rid of McAdoo. You probably wouldn't have got rid of Shermer. He may not even be the coach. Let's be honest. Yeah,
and the issue with Judge is not just about the player person, that he's got there. It's the dumb calls, it's the philosophy, it's the fact that we're not sort of seeing any kind of progression here. The fact we haven't got a decent quarterback and a decent line you can put on the GM, but we're not making the most out of what we do have at all, and that's the issue.
Here's one. How are we going to draft Malik Willis if our offensive line is worse in NFL history? You need to spend your first 4 picks. First of all, we are not the worst offensive line in NFL history, not even close. The offensive line issue, I think, is more of a buildup of the fans. Because if you look at times, I am not saying that at times they do not have issues. But if you look at times, especially early in the season,
Daniel Jones springs to mind.
Daniel Jones had a perfect pocket. There was times early on in the San Diego game, Mike Glennon, perfect pocket. He just missed. We don't even have the worst line in the NFL, let alone in NFL history. You owe the kids $5. Just telling you that now. I'm not going to call you on you again because you owe the kids $5. Makes my head hurt. Joe Judge had 4 players. That's an indictment as a head coach. I don't know. I must have missed something there.
I was going to say I'm not following, but
I'm not following there. All right, here we go. According to Carl Banks, I love Carl Banks. The situation with I do love Carl Banks. It's actually one of my father's favorite players. I have a Carl Banks autographed helmet. I have a Phil Simms autographed helmet too, a big one. That's what she said. The situation with Chris Mara isn't what we think. If so, you mean John O'Mara is more directly involved than we think. So Gettleman is either 100% at fault or it's O'Mara. I don't think it's a who the hell's the guy that owns the Cowboys?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. I don't think it's a Jerry Jones situation. And you know, I love Carl, but he's never really going to say anything bad. He'll say it about the coach, he'll say it about the players, but he's never going to say anything bad about the organization, in my opinion.
I think the issue is multi-layered and multifaceted, right? It's why I keep sort of suggesting, look, we have to really look at all aspects right across the spectrum, because we've got issues all over the place, not just on the field, off the field.
Oh yeah, what's up, Kareem? How you doing, my friend? Here's a good question from Big Blue. Tim, would you trade Barkley? No, I would not trade Barkley. I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't trade Barkley, and Dom, I'll ask you the same question. I'll tell you why I wouldn't do it. He's going into year 5. He's going into a contract year. If he's healthy, most players that go into a contract year, what do they have? A career year. Leonard Williams, I'm looking at you.
You beat me to it.
Just throwing that out there. I think, and I've said this a million times, you're coming back from an ACL, unless you're Adrian Peterson, they say it's year 2 where you are fully healed. He has shown moments, and he's showing more moments of being the back that he might have potentially be or could have been. I keep him from year 5 because it's only going to cost me $7.8 million or $8.2 million. I forget exactly what it is, but I would keep him. Why not? See what he does. And honestly, if you need to move on from him in year 5, you trade him up before the trade deadline. But see what you got, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I think Barkley has talent. I think you're not going to get the potential production you get out of Barkley for less than that. And I don't think we can afford to trade him anyway. And I think having had 2 injury hit years, and I don't think he's injury prone, by the way. I think there's a difference between unfortunate and injury prone. You've talked about that before. I agree.
I was injury prone in my career. I was injury prone. I always was. Something was always wrong. I mean, literally, something was always falling off, and they had to tape it back on. But I always played. But to your point, I think Barkley's just unlucky.
Yeah, I was fortunate to never be an injury prone player. I rarely missed a game through injury, but I played with players, and you've got a little niggle and you're not playing, or you're just injured all the time. And they were just, I played with a guy 2 seasons running, broke his leg. It's unfortunate. Yeah. He's not injury prone. But I just don't necessarily think with where he's at that you get the trade value for him. So I think you do roll with him for another year. Perhaps you potentially trade him at the trade deadline if you can afford to do so with the cap. And the cap is a long way off at that point, so it's impossible to tell what it'll be. But I certainly don't think you trade before the trade deadline. I don't think value will be there.
No, I agree. My dream of 9-8 crushed by San Diego. Yes, I said San Diego. All Chargers fans live in San Diego. I agree, because there's no football fans in LA. Too busy drinking their lattes and water with peppermint
and rollerblading.
I've seen movies. I saw Beverly Hills Cop.
I've seen the adverts for ladies' products.
See, there you go. What's up, Ace? Discover what's new with your new Mac Monterey. Okay, that's not for you. We have the talent. The team has to produce simple. Fixed coach can't play to. We have the talent. The team has to produce simple. Fixed coach can't play to.
Yes. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think the point here is that the team isn't playing to the talent level on the team and isn't really.
And that would actually be because of the coaches
or the scheme, which is designed by the
coaches. Ace, that's another $5. By my math, you now owe the kids $497. Like I said in previous streams, with the Giants drafting abilities, that we will put a 2016 draft quarterback, Kennard, and with our first pick. We probably would. I still say they're going to take a punter.
We could do a new punter.
We could take a punter and a place kicker in the first round. We didn't land on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones landed on us. I wish I had a crashing sound effect. I really do. I need that. Logic, my guy. What's up, guys? What's up, everyone? Let's see what Jay Foster's got to say. How do you feel about dumbing down an O-line in the first round? I don't want to go low line both rounds. I mean, both picks. My thing is this. You can cultivate a talent on offensive line much deeper in the draft. Second, third, fourth round. Not us, because we can't find anybody. But normal teams can. If there's a special defensive talent, like, I don't know, like a Parsons or something, sitting there high up, you got to go with that. And that's why I keep people don't understand when I say draft Malik Willis. I'm not saying draft Malik Willis with our first pick. I'm not. I'm saying draft the best available player defensively, either a linebacker or an edge, and then take Malik. Dom?
Yeah, I think there are multiple holes you need to fill. I think in theory you could have some kind of line of Thomas, say Lemieux, move Gates from center to right guard. You could take a center in, say, the third round, and you'd probably find a more than serviceable center there, and suddenly your line looks a little bit stronger, because I think Gates is better on guard than center, and I don't think he's done a bad job at center, by the way. But
we got a perfect team though. Eric Flowers, Justin Pugh, and Kevin Zeiler. They're on the team, right?
No,
that's the point, right?
But
they're in the top 5 of pass blocking and run blocking. So I mean, they're still on the team, right? Combine them with Gates and Andrew Thomas, man, we got an all-pro freaking line.
But that's more, that's a more than serviceable line, and you could add, say, your second round pick or your first round pick. But we have multiple issues we need to address. I think I'm not against taking a quarterback at all, to be clear. But I'm also, if we don't fall in love with one, and you're in love with Willis, I haven't seen enough to make a call on that. But we should look to take the best available player, and ideally, if it fits one of those areas of need, linebacker, edge, O-line, defensive tackle. Even I don't think first round, by the way. But there are multiple positions that we need. So I'm not against it, but I wouldn't be taking 2 offensive linemen with our first 2 picks.
Saeed just
unless they're the best 2 players there, by the way.
I wouldn't even take them if they're the best 2 players there. I would trade down. Saeed just got home. I'm watching the early video first. Saeed, hopefully you did well on your finals today. It is finals week. Hopefully you were studying like you were supposed to instead of watching me. Oh my God.
I'd second that. Hopefully it went well, by the way.
I hope so too. Can we pull a Dan Quinn as a head coach? What do you think of Dan Quinn?
I would probably rather take my chances elsewhere.
I was going to say, I mean, that response kind of summed it up.
I think he's done a decent job down in Dallas, by the way.
But beyond that,
but it's coordinator, right? Shermer, really good coordinator. I'm not saying Dan Quinn's a terrible head coach, but I think we should be setting our sights higher.
Thank you. I think you're right. I think we should set our fight. I think we should. I don't want Joke and Joe coaching up Malik. Fire him now. Fire him. Just get rid of him. What do you think? And he said, now. I knew what you meant. Your brain's fried from finals. It's okay. It's all right. I can't spell either. But I can do math.
Do you know, I didn't even notice it. It said fire him on. Just knew exactly what the sentence was.
That's because as Joe Judge taught me in psychology, that your brain replaces the things, because you know what he meant, but your brain will replace the letter.
I don't read. I read in a very strange way where I don't read every word. I will pick out the key words and will make up the sentence. My son does this when he's reading as well. He doesn't read the words. But the sentence he constructs means exactly the same thing as a sentence there. It just won't be the exact words.
Do you know what's really funny, guys? This is really funny. After Dom just told me the story, because now I'm a little concerned. I asked Dom, I said, when the radio contract comes in, could you please peruse it? Because of what you do for a living. Could you please just take a look at it? Because I've gone through multiple contracts through my career and I don't have a problem with that. But could you please just go through it? Now Dom's going to be replacing shit in his brain. I can see it now.
I can when I read slowly and purposely, I can concentrate on it. But if I'm just reading like for fun or whatever, then That's how I will read.
For some reason, I think I'm going to be paying them to do this job if I let Tom do this.
And when they see, when they see your listing figures, they may ask you to. No, I'm joking.
And here's Jeff. What's up? Jeff is in the house. Let's see what he got here. My physics test was the worst thing ever. I hope I got a C+. That would make me happy.
Science was not my thing. I scraped my C.
Mine was math.
That's your strong point? I'm hoping not.
You know what's killing me? And I had to point this out because some people comment about it. I was actually smart in college. I actually was. I mean, I wasn't there just to play football. I was smart. I was. I really was.
I'm going to pay you a compliment now. I believe you. Like, genuinely believe you.
Oh, okay, good. I had like a 3-point-something GPA. And I didn't take like basket weaving or anything like that. 4.0 is an A. So I was like 3.3, 3.4. Most people don't know that.
That's roughly what I got. We have a different system. But
yeah, your different system is to replace words as you read them.
Still come up with the same meaning.
I hope so. I don't want to all of a sudden start working for these people and be like, they'll be like, Tim, it's the end of the month. You owe us $479. I'll be like, but Dom read the contract. What could go wrong? He replaced the words where it was, I will pay you. Oh, you make me scared. Carlos, what's up, Carlos? Guys, with Mara loving Judge, what is your feeling about bringing him back? I don't like it. I'm gonna have my tantrum. I don't like it. That's my son when he was 3.
You've got to change them both. Like, let's not keep repeating the mistakes. Let's change them both now. It might not work, but it can't be worse than what we've got now.
Knock on wood. Hoping for Harbaugh, willing for Willis. I love it. Afghanistan, baby. Oh yeah. What's up, my friend? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope you're doing well. I love this one. This is true, though. This is true. That's what all football players said. I'm smart. Hey, listen. I graduated in under 8 years. So I was smart. I graduated in 4 years. 4 years. At least I think I did. I had Dom read my diploma. You're just so smart. Yeah, well, in the UK, you only go to school for 1 year.
I read that. That's why I graduated in 3.
Oh, really? You only go 3 years in the UK? Shit, I should have went to the UK. Come out of school sooner than that.
But it's funny, though. That comment is making me laugh for a second reason. I said something to someone today, and I was like, oh, no, that is complete and utter rubbish. I am smart, honest. Let me start again.
let me do that again. Do Giant fans realize if you don't take a quarterback this year, it's going to be 3-4 rounds to move up for Bryce Young next year? Here's the problem. We can't bank on Bryce Young. I mean, and I understand his point. You can't. And also he's got Pikachu, so that's cool. You can't because, like I said, we're going to have to be really bad next year.
We're probably capable of it.
USA. There's always a possibility.
Giants, number 1.
All right. What's up, my friend? What's up, Mr. Thug? I always like the Thug because he's got Tupac on his icon. Barkley says Parson is LT like. What the blank? Tell me run north south and find hole instead of pitter patter feet. Nobody isn't going to be close to LT, please. I did a video on this for the people that I love Parsons, still do. I even said it during that first game in Canton during the Hall of Fame that I thought I saw 2 number 11s on the field, but he's not Lawrence Taylor. Some of that I watched Lawrence Taylor from the day he was drafted to the day he retired. Seen him live. He was a game changer. He was a guy that you couldn't game plan for. They started blocking him with a running back that didn't work. They started using a running back and a tight end that didn't work. They started chipping him with a running back, blocking him with a tight end, and throwing a tackle at him, and that still didn't work. Joe Gibbs came out when he was coach of the Redskins multitudes of times and said, when you're game planning for the Giants, you're game planning for Lawrence Taylor. He played the Saints game with a dislocated shoulder and won the game for the Giants.
Just phenomenal. But I believe but I was trying to remember what who it was that said it earlier on it, but when they were talking about Mara's comments on the Judge being Belichick and Parcells, it's the same sort of thing here. It's more than slightly overdone.
Will the players not respond well if Trek coach Joe comes back down? What do you think?
They're not responding from now. There's no reason to suggest they will respond next year, but they're not.
All right. Well, that pretty much sums that up.
Look, I'm now going to have the politest rant in the history of rants. We've all seen Judge's comments this week, right, about how pleased he is with the internal organization. The intangibles are going there, right? It's rubbish. It is absolute rubbish. If the culture was going in the right direction, we don't have the ridiculous situation of Logan Ryan a few weeks ago. We don't have Tony's misdemeanors. We don't have the team giving up, and they are giving up in games. You know,
I think so.
You can say we didn't give up this week against the Chargers. No, the Chargers gave up against us, because they won the game. They didn't have to worry. You know, you can talk about the fact that it's going in the right direction. It's not happening on the field, and he's talking about this is a long-term project. Right? You have to say that now. You don't have a choice because your first 2 years have not gone well, so you can't believe in quick fixes. Now, I do happen to believe he's right. It has to be a long-term project. It has to be a long-term turnaround. But you're just not the man. Nothing is screaming out. Yes, I can point to something that gives me faith this is going in the right direction. Tangible or intangible. I just don't believe it. I just don't see it. The players are not buying in. They're not acting like they're buying in. And the behaviors are not happening off the field. You can see it. You can hear it. You can watch as they repeat mistakes after mistakes on the field, on Twitter, ignoring what he's telling them to do. It just does not make sense. It's absolute bull. It really is. If he believes that, then he's either dumb or he's just blind. I mean, it's ridiculous. The players are not buying in. They're done. They are done.
I changed my background because I needed to calm down because your rant was so.
For me, that was worked up. You know,
at least you didn't say poppycock.
Poppycock would be too soft a view on that.
That's a good rant, Don. I think that's me like on 1.5.
Well, for me, that's up there around about a 12. You know,
that's true. That is
collected.
The Chiefs rebuilt their offensive linemen this year. 1 trade, 2 second-round picks. We need people with a brain and smart coaching. Oh, so Orlando, some guy Brown that I said the Giants should trade for, and they would have bookend tackles, and everyone thought I was crazy. And then they traded him for like a bunch of second-round picks. I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, Bob. I love Bob.
It's a good point, though. They have rebuilt their O-line.
He's right. He's got an excellent point.
And it took a little bit of time, and I still don't think it's completely. I think O-line will continue to get better in Kansas City. No question.
Malik is sacked 4 times a game. If you can put Malik on the edge for the first and few of our other picks in the O-line, then you won't have to worry so much. Well, here's the problem with Malik Willis. Malik Willis at one point was sacked 9 times in a game. He was sacked 18 times over 2 games. At one point, he ran the ball 22 times for like 26 yards. The kid's used to contact. I'm not worried about him getting hurt. I'm not worried about that at all. LT was the greatest defensive player ever. He is the last defense player to be the NFL MVP in 86. He was literally changed the way football is played on both sides of the ball, both sides of the league. Yeah. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Let's not forget Orlando Brown, Jenkins, Smith, other linemen that were first-round picks that we don't immediately get. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the offensive line. Tired of the offensive line. I like this one, though. Nate Solder couldn't block a phone call. Sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. I like this one. Take 2 down. Nate Solder couldn't block a phone call. Hey-o.
Did you see his? Did you see? Oh, you'll have definitely seen it. But the attempt to block for Glennon on the strip sack. Oh,
I still like the one. I forget what game was when he was literally blocking backwards. He was facing the wrong direction. And then Joe Judge comes out and says, he gives us the best opportunity to win. Who was he blocking?
Look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was fine with bringing him back as a swing tackle for us this year. You know, I didn't see that there were many options out there by the time we got round to it with him, etc., etc. But he's not the future, and
No,
at all.
He's not the future.
And you've got to be playing Matt Pert, right? See what he can do. If he can't play, he can't play. But he can't be. He can't be much worse. But secondly, you might as well see what you've got. It's the whole thing you were saying all week, and I couldn't agree more. But you go with Jake Fromm rather than Glennon, because you know what Glennon is.
Right. And no one has any film on Jake outside of outside of like 27 snaps in preseason.
Yeah, but that's why he couldn't play, because Joe Judge hadn't watched the tape.
Did you see this, Dom? Because I didn't see this, and I have not had a chance to look it up because I was out most of the day. Hey, Tim, did you talk about Kenny and Shep not having socks on to start the game? Joe Judge is lost. Did you see that?
I didn't, but if that's true, that's again, it just goes into the whole, we're not ready, we're not prepared, we just make dumb, stupid decisions.
Hold on. I gotta Google that because I didn't see that. No socks.
It's just complete disrespect for the team.
Like Dom Vamp as I'm Googling.
Okay, well, but it's complete disrespect for the team, for the head coach, for your other players. If you're not ready, I mean, it just, the whole thing just absolutely stinks, and it stinks from below Joe Judge down, because apparently he's not responsible. But yeah, again, just doesn't. It beggars belief.
If that is true, if this, and like I said, I can't Google it because my computer's not doing something wacky. If that is true, that just shows more of the ineptitude. I do have a theory though why they did not have socks on. They were using them to cover their nose when they were on the flight with Kadarius Toney. They were using them as gas masks, because we know you put someone in a pressurized cabin with recirculated air, COVID's not going anywhere. Yeah.
We trapped it. It's not going anywhere. It can't affect the team. Unfortunately, we trapped it with the team in there. I mean, did they have their cleats on? Because they're one up on Tony if they did.
Oh, Mr. Lewis, did they have their cleats on? or were they wearing dress shoes? Wingtips? Let's see. It was this watch the game highlights from the first start. I don't have to do that. I'll have to look at that because I didn't know. I mean, if I trust me, Mr. Lewis, I believe you 100%. Because the stupidity of this organization, I could see they forgot the socks. They were like, okay, helmets, face masks, players, jerseys, jock straps. Okay, we're good. Everyone go play. Oh, we forgot the pants and the socks.
I mean, I just assumed from reading that they just hadn't got themselves fully changed. I mean, if the kit man didn't have the kit, then I mean that wouldn't surprise me either. But
here's a good question.
Yeah, apparently they had cleats on.
They probably had cleats on. That's good. Don, what is your favorite thing to snack on during the torture and watching Giant games?
Well, for me, it starts around kids' bedtime, but my wife helpfully helps
the
me
Giant
out.
game is on at 1 at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. So it's my kids are starting to get ready for bed, but my wife does most of bedtime. But I'm normally having my evening meal with it, so it depends on what's for dinner that week. So don't tend to have a snack because of the time of day is. Did
you want me to tell how your son beat you in Xbox today?
He didn't beat me in Xbox today. The controller's not on. He's got an old controller that doesn't even work.
Xbox today because I turned it off before he won. I'll teach that to the world.
Give him a year or two, he'll comfortably beat me. No question about it. But
I gotta watch the highlights of them. No cleats. They had on cleats though. They had on cleats. I believe you. I believe you 100%.
See, they were ready. We were on it.
I could see that because it was oh geez, going back. Who is it that couldn't find their helmet in the Super Bowl? There was a player that lost their helmet, and Ruben Randall when he was with the Giants.
Is it Miles Garrett?
No, it might have been. He was swinging it. I give myself one. Here we go. Here, Leonard Williams is going through the motions. He's not playing anymore. He's lining up. He's slow. He does have a useless spin move. Whenever he gets near the quarterback, he's playing just to fulfill his contractual obligation. I said it before. Leonard Williams plays for Leonard Williams.
No, never wanted to re-sign him. It was too expensive.
I said give him 11. $11 million a year. Give him $11 million guaranteed. Give him 33 over 4, or I should say 33 million the first 3 years, and only guarantee the first 2.
Yeah. I mean, the clamor to sign him, I was with you 100%. Take Tomlinson. If Williams doesn't want to sign for the right deal for us, then you let him walk and you take the comp pick.
I mean, I've said it a million times. You are what you are your first 5 years of your career. You're not what you are your 6th career year. You're going to be what you were before that. But you're paying for the 1 year, not off the entire body of work. And I've stumped Dom. Dom's just like, you're right. Mr. Jackson, how you doing, my friend? Mr. Jackson also is a subscriber to Online OG Big Blue. You get content, you get videos, you get me. That's not a prize. That's the booby prize.
That's what she said.
Joe Judge just called baby Bill Belichick Parcells. I'm a grown man, and I think I'm going to cry. There's no hope. First of all, I'm going to tell you this. Don't cry. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I actually know that whole song, too. You know what? Cry. I'm sorry. Cry.
I've got no solace for you.
Mr. Jackson, you know I love you, man, but I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing. You want to cry? You know what? You are more than within your rights to cry. Because they are just so bad, and they say the stupidest things. I mean, is it crying, Dom, or is it just a crying shame?
I mean, you saw my reaction earlier, and like, COVID isn't funny, but when we were talking about the aeroplane and the fact that Tony's on it because they hadn't bothered checking the test results before they took off, I mean, you laugh or you cry, and I was like, I'm gonna have to laugh because it's just what we Brits do. We have sucky sports teams constantly, so we're used to it.
Yeah, Thomas couldn't find his cleats. Is that true? I'm getting all this good information here. Oh, next gen stats. I saw a next gen stat. The Giants' pass protection gives about 3 to 4 seconds to throw the ball. That's not bad. That's not horrid.
Yeah, look, our O-line isn't brilliant, but we've also got a quarterback that hangs on too long.
It's not like you go back and you're sacked a half a second after you take one step. And I'm going to throw this out there because maybe the Giants, I know Freddie Kitchens is a genius because look what he did in Cleveland. I'm going to throw this out here. Like, just because you never probably thought about it. And I just think of these things. You ever hear a 3-step drop? 3-step drop and throw the ball. Joe Montana lived off a 3-step drop. And I think he went to the Hall of Fame and won a couple of Super Bowls. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Oh, it's Thomas. It was Thurman Thomas. Thank you. Couldn't find his cleats. Thurman Thomas couldn't find his helmet before the Super Bowl game. That's who it was. Oh, no. Thurman Thomas couldn't. I thought Thurman Thomas couldn't find his helmet. I knew someone couldn't find their helmet in the Super Bowl.
I thought he was talking about Andrew Thomas on Sunday.
So did I. I thought the same thing for a minute. And I said, well,
maybe his name right this week.
I thought maybe Kenny G was wearing his shoes.
Tony was.
Tony was. Jones is always backpedaling like in college. Like, dude, get out the pocket unless he doesn't know how to throw on the run. I don't think Daniel Jones throws well on the run. I really don't. The game, I forget which game it was because I actually said they were going to use a floating pocket, and they did. But the problem was, it was the Saints game. Yes, I said they would use. Thank you. I couldn't remember what game I said that. They used a floating pocket. They rolled him out to the left. They rolled him out to the right to help slow down the pass rush. And he played pretty effectively. He threw 400 yards. Of course he did. But then they tried it a couple other times, and he just didn't throw the ball well on the run. So I said this before. Daniel Jones is not a running quarterback. You may think he is. I loved it, though, Tom. My favorite thing with fans, not of course not fans here, but my favorite thing with fans is you're running Daniel Jones too much. That's why he gets hurt. Then you don't run him. You're not running Daniel Jones enough. That's why we're losing. Which one is it?
I mean, when you get a design run play, he will knock them off. He'll knock off yards. Once he gets going, he can build up his speed, but he will then go and do something really daft and get himself hurt. So you can't run him.
Dom, he's as fast as a slow accelerating cheetah.
Yeah, he doesn't get up speed quick.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
You know,
I wonder-
and that's why he's not a running quarterback. He's not going to scramble around like
He's
Jackson or
not.
Mahomes or
That's-
Kyler Murray. He's not going to do that. He's never going to be able to do that.
Floating pocket was the Cardinals, excuse me, the Carolina game. Thank you, Mike Lee. I knew if
Well,
anyone
the
knew.
Carolina, the Saints game, we certainly gave him a
No. I did a video the night before, the day before, that said they were going to do a rolling pocket, and they were going to roll to the left, they're going to roll to the right, and then they were going to throw it, and they have Daniel Jones throw outside the pocket. He's right. It was the Carolina game.
Yeah, no, I believe. I just remember the Saints game. Our O line played.
Now
really
the
well.
Saints guy in the O line played well, but he was more in the pocket. It's so bad we can't even remember things. Mike Lee, I'm dropping Dom as the co-host. I'm going to bring you on because evidently you know things and remember things. Daniel Jones is a dead arm quarterback. His passes have no zip beyond 20 yards. He passes float that far. He couldn't make a 65-yard bomb the way Herbert's pass, which is phenomenal. Even under 25 yards, Jones' passes are slow. Here's my thing. I'm going to rant again for a second with Logan Ryan. And Logan Ryan's excuse was, I didn't track the ball well. No, you let the man get behind you. And I said this a million times. I don't care if he's only a yard behind you. You are playing too deep safety. You are the line of defense. You're it. You cannot let the guy get behind you. And I don't care, like I say, if it's a half yard, I don't care if it's a yard. He still was behind you. That's a problem. And I agree about that with Daniel Jones.
I mean, it was a position or similar position to what you played at college. I know you played somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly which position you played, but it was a
linebacker.
Picture of a throw.
Great throw. Awesome throw.
Awesome. But you're right. You can't let him go. And I know that people have said, well, he didn't expect Herbert to throw it 65 yards.
Doesn't matter.
Watch Herbert then. Because, he's got a cannon and an arm. He just doesn't use it every single time. But I think that's what makes it so effective.
I love this comment. And I don't think it's a typo because I think it's a great comment. Daniel Jones doesn't run well on the run, which is a great comment. If that's not a mistake comment, that's got to be one of the comments of the day. I love that. Even here we go. Even doesn't well. I love that comment. Why does Joe Judge get year 3 and McAdoo only got 2 years with a better record and he went to the playoffs? I think it's because Mara needed a scapegoat for the whole Eli Manning fiasco. And I think Eli Manning was brilliant by saying, no, I'm not playing. Fine, bench me. I'm not going to come in for a spot start so you can take me out for Geno Smith instead of what's his name? Webb. I'm not going to do it. If anything, if you think about it, Eli Manning probably got McAdoo fired. Because if Manning would have accepted the spot start and then getting replaced by Geno Smith, that wouldn't have been an issue. But Manning was just like, nope, not doing it. And then the whole thing just blew up in the media. That's what I think, Tom.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, why does McAdoo get 2? Because he wasn't good. Why does Judge get 3? I don't think he should.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see here. If given that it's a given that Joe Judge, I don't know if it's a given. I don't know if anything's a given. Do you think anything's a given, Dom?
We've been lied to for how many years now? So I mean,
that's a great point. That's an excellent point. But
I have to get 1.
I don't know if I see it as a given that he's coming back.
No, I mean, I don't either. I think, I mean, we'd be daft not to take the pulse on what the dressing room thinks. I think the fan reaction is really quite clear. I think you go and start talking to GMs and they're going, yeah, have I got free reign at head coach and quarterback? No, well, I'm not talking to you then. Maybe those sort of things can change your mind, even if you are minded as the owner to bring Judge back. You'd be stupid if you're not having those conversations, putting the feelers out on GMs, and that could change things. And hey, look, reporters have got things wrong before. They've been given what they believe to be perfectly good information, and they put it out there. They're not risking their reputation, but it doesn't mean that it is right. So no, I don't think it's a given. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it's a given.
Here's a question for you, Dom. Here's a good question. Is it a given? Let's say Mr. Harbaugh wins at Michigan, gets his elusive national title, and says to the Giants, I will take over your organization. What do you think the Giants do?
What do I think they should do, or what do I think they do?
What do you think they should? No, I know what they should do. What do you think they do?
I think you get the GM in first.
No,
I really do.
Harbaugh says I'm going to take over the operation.
The whole thing.
I want player control. I want this. I want to be in charge of the cappuccino machine. I want to fill the vending machines with all the fruits and bananas and everything I want to eat. I want everything. I want the whole Megillah. I want to run your organization top down. Let me come in and build this franchise for you. What do you think the Giants would do?
Wrong sport, wrong film. But as part of a trade, can we get the vending machines filled for 3 years?
Well,
the players shouldn't be playing.
That, of course, is Moneyball.
I think it's $1. I'm not a big fan of one man, however good, running the whole organization. So I think if you take New England, I really don't think that Bill Belichick should be as sort of in control of the draft process as he appears to be. What I do think you want is a GM and head coach that can work together, that are looking to make those decisions alongside each other. But I don't think I think you have to bring in a GM and a head coach. And much as we might want Harbaugh, I wouldn't bring him in without a GM, and I think you go after a GM first.
Well, you have to. You're not going to hire a coach without hiring the GM. I got potential. Oh, this is great. It's potential spam. Sorry about that. I should not connect everything to soundboard. Mr. Jackson, thank you for a super chat, and I love it because you actually had 2 great comments. Joe Judge gets 3 because he has naked pictures of Mara.
It did. Do you know? I was going to say that has he got compromising pictures?
But I think the best comment for Mr. Jackson right now is this one: the organization has skills for giving people depression. I think that's I like the other comment, but I love that comment. Yes, I'm depressed. I loved it because I did the stream on Sunday after the game, and people actually emailed me on Monday to make sure I was okay. Because they're like, you seem so upset. I'm like, yeah, I was upset. And I'm because I may say bad things and nasty things, what people think, but I'm still a fan. I got giant shit everywhere. I'm still a fan.
Do you know what's really sad, right? So Monday morning, my son wakes up. He goes, what did your team do last night? I was like, we lost. He was like, yeah, you're trash. And he was like, you don't seem too upset. I was like, I'm kind of gone beyond that. Like I'm at whatever the next stage of grief is. It's like it was like, I'm not surprised, buddy. You know.
I know. Michael Lee, what do you think of since he's Bearcat quarterback, the Riddler, Desmond Riddler? You know what I think of Desmond, 3-year starter. Or excuse me, 4-year starter. That's right. He's 4-year starter at Cincy. Good mobile quarterback. Not really. I mean, he's got some spectacular runs. He had the 91-yard run, I think, back in I forget what year it was, 2020. You know what he reminds me of, which is interesting? He reminds me of Malik Willis. He really does. He reminds me what Malik Willis would do if he was on a true Division I team. So people will say, well, if you think that, why are you still taking Malik Willis? What's wrong with the Riddler? First of all, I like Willin for Willis better. I like the hashtag. You got to go by social media. I like the hashtag. No, I just think Malik Willis has a bigger upside in my humble opinion. And I know I was wrong about Slater.
But that's the beauty of football, right? You can have 2 players that appear similar, and you can like one and not the other because it's a game of opinion.
It's not that it's not that I don't like Desmond. It's not that I don't like Desmond at all. I think he is. I think he could be a good quarterback. I really do. I think he's a mobile quarterback. He's shown that he's tough even running between the tackles. I just think there's more of an electricity. If you ever watched Malik Willis, and I always tell people, go back to 2020. Don't look at 21. Or if you look at 21, look at the first half of 21 because his offensive line fell apart towards the end of the year. I don't know how I feel comfortable, Mr. Lewis, with Harbaugh controlling everything, having control of everything.
I'm just not a big fan in general of one person having everything. It's one of those things that's just for me is how I would want to build an organization.
Doesn't Belichick have most control, total control?
He does, but I'm not sure he's drafted brilliantly. How
many Super Bowls did he win though?
Quite a few, to be fair.
Andy Reid.
He's got 2. One.
I went to 2, 1-1.
Yeah,
he has most control over the organization.
But he might have final say. He might have final say. But I like a partnership. It's just one of those things that I really quite like. I prefer the partnership, but you have to find the partnership that works, and it's high risk. But I think for every Belichick or Reed, you can talk about an O'Brien, right?
This is a nice comment though. A broken clock is right twice a day. Daniel Jones is a broken clock. We're rolling them out today, man. I like the one. I like the depression one though.
They're on it like a car bonnet with the comments.
There we go. They are today, man. Not like they'll make any necessary changes. Anyway, it's too slow to adapt. I don't disagree. I think this organization is slow to adapt to anything.
It's traditional. It's a traditional model, and it's not necessarily fit for today's NFL.
Tim dresses up as Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber during the next draft. Did I dress up as Dumb? I did dress up as Lloyd. Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. I wore the orange tuxedo. I don't remember if I did it during the draft. I wore that for Halloween. I guess it would be something new. You're right. What do we got here? Whoops. So we go. I'd rather have Judge Judy or Joe Brown. At least they're entertaining and don't take no BS. Do you know who either of those people are, Don?
I've heard of Judge Judy.
Judge Brown is like the male version of Judge Judy. He's like there's a bunch of other judge shows, but I would say those are the two best. I actually like Judge Joe Brown. He cracks me up. It's a TV show. I haven't watched in a while, but I do like the judge. Here we go. Here. What about the Riddler? The Riddler will be great here, but once again, trash franchise, hates to adapt. That's the thing. The Riddler. I could come up with so many things with the Riddler. I mean, like I said, I wanted Eric Bieniemy. Why did I want Eric Bieniemy? Because I can make the Eric Bieniemy jokes. But I do think it's the same way. I think the franchise is slow to adapt. And I said this before, Don, we need a 21st century quarterback. And the Giants, I think Pickett would probably be the way the Giants go, because that's just them. It's the tall and nothing against Pickett. He's a tall, statuesque guy, hangs out in the pocket, knows how to slide. Everyone talks about the fake slide. But and plus if you have the Riddler, I'm Batman. You're going to need that as well. But I don't want that. I want a 21st century quarterback. I want someone that's mobile. And I love when people say, well, both the Riddler and Malik Willis are Jalen Hurts. I don't see that. Jalen Hurts is a different quarterback coming out of Oklahoma than these two guys.
I haven't studied either of them close enough. We don't have a college game really over here.
That's true.
So I can't comment. All I can say is I think we do need to take the way our offense runs in a different direction. We do need to catch up with the league, if we're honest.
I love this. Mike Holmgren and Chip Kelly. Oops. Those are also guys that had it. Salary cap is going to be up to 208. Yeah, it's going to be up to 208. Too bad our contracts are 203 with 43 players.
And also everyone else's salary cap will also be 208.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. No, only ours.
Is it a special rule, is it?
It's the giant rule. Oh, this is a good question, Dom. Have you ever been to Westminster Palace? That was a quick answer. That was your quickest answer of the day. Why were you at Westminster Palace?
You hobnob with the Queen.
Oh, excuse me. As we all know, and I've said this millions of times before, everyone in the UK knows the Queen. It's like a rule. You have to go to tea at least once with the Queen. I don't know how she does it. She's phenomenal. But I understand that. I do understand that as a rule. Which one's Westminster Palace? I don't know. I know Westminster Abbey. Which one's is that? The castle?
The Abbey is a big cathedral.
Yeah, I know where that is. I've been to that.
Yeah, it's Westminster Palace is basically where we have our Houses of Parliament. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, Zachary.
I don't know. I don't know where the hell it is. We look like a freaking tour guide. Get a map, Zach. Get a map. Go see what it is. I love Zachary. He's Zach Attack. Oh, well, that's cool, though. I didn't know that. Oh, I know why you go there. Tea with the Queen. Dom, one man.
She's not allowed. Very boring. In fact, she's not allowed in the Commons. She's only allowed in the House of Lords, which are the two houses, like your sort of two legislative bodies in the States. We have the House of Lords, the House of Commons. She can only go in the Lords. She's not allowed in the Commons because she's not common. I
thought she actually had two houses. I was like, wow, I thought you would have, as a queen, I thought you would have more than two houses. Thought you
She's
had
got
like
plenty
six.
more than 2 houses.
I thought you had like
No,
6 or 7.
there are equivalent of a Senate and a House.
Now, when you're the queen,
Yeah, you
So
mean after we if we beat the Cowboys, which is not going to
if
happen.
you're the queen, thank you. You knew where I was going. Damn it, Dom. Dom, one man having full control works. I don't get that it doesn't work for you. There are
That's
several
absolutely fine.
teams that one man had full control of the organization works to absolute perfection.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's a personal view. Absolutely fine. Look, as we said earlier, you pointed to two organisations where that works. It's just for me. I like the sort of the split. It will just be how I would prefer to run the organisation. But you're absolutely right. You know, and I noticed some of the comments earlier about Harbaugh. I think you do need to bring in people that can just sweep it out, set a culture, etc., etc. I agree with that. I just prefer the two-person, two dual role approach rather than one. But it's a personal view.
It's the House of Parliament. My bad. The Palace of Westminster.
No, they're the same place. He's fine. Yeah,
You're fine.
They're the same place. You can
You're
call
fine,
them either.
Zach. All right, Zach. We're not gonna make fun of you anymore. You evidently got it right. Oh, do you know?
I was just checking that's what you meant, because some people think that the Abbey is that, or Buckingham Palace is that, because it's just up the road.
But the Abbey, that's where the Beatles are.
Yeah, with the zebra crossing.
I don't know. Do you know the Prime Minister?
I mean, I know who he is.
I know who the president is. At least I think I do. I don't think he knows. I don't think the president know who he is, so I'm not going to talk about that. Riddler for the Riddler. Riddler for the Riddler. Oh, my God. Oh, Dom. What does this mean? What is this? Dom is a dandy after all. Just jokes, Dom. Is that a bad thing to be a dandy?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We have a comic called The Dandy, but I don't think that's what he means.
This is the pick on Dom segment.
Either way, I'm absolutely fine. No, I've had a couple of good debates in the chat with Logic's Finest. We don't always agree, but I think that's great, because I tell you why. I think he's really respectful and there's some logic to, as per the name, to what he's saying. I don't always agree, but I think that's absolutely fine, and I really enjoy the debates with him. So keep it up. I enjoy it.
The Giants could make the task of getting a cup of water unnecessarily difficult. Well, Joe Judge would have to make sure his headsets were working and see what he can find on the tape about that. That's why the Giants don't have water dispensers or machines in their offices. Dom, I do miss, who is this? Dennis Skinner ribbing black
we're
bra
going,
at the
we're
start
going,
of
we're going
each
back.
yearly session. I don't know what that means.
I mean, do you really want me to explain?
No.
I can.
No, not really. Not really, because I think it's going to drive everything down. I'm watching the viewers go after that one. Yes, that's what I meant. Okay, here we go. We get a first-round consolation pick for having Gettleman as general manager. We should. Wait, what is this my wife is saying? Oh, my God. This is bad, because now my wife, I love you, honey, is ribbing Dom. How soon before someone entertains a British never mind, that wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. The question is how long before someone else on YouTube entertains a British segment? Because for some reason I seem to be very popular to copy off YouTube. So I don't know why. Dom didn't get his pep talk today. I do think we should get a consolation pick. Here it's called the Booby Prize.
Can we have one for Judge as well? And we've got 4 first rounders.
I just wanted to say boobies. I didn't say boobies. I said boobies.
You must have done, but do the thing on the calculator where you put in the numbers and turn it upside down. It spelled boobies.
I thought it spelled boobs.
No, boobies.
You also spell boobless. I know the joke where you do on the calculator. You spell boobless.
No, you can spell boobies on a calculator. 80081.
Someone Dom, get a calculator and spell boobies. I mean boobless. On boobs. What are you spelling?
Boobies.
All right, go get a calculator. I know you have a calculator there.
I don't actually.
How do you not have a calculator? And you're going to be my manager and go over my contract? Oh my God, you don't even know what a calculator? Get your abacus.
I have one of them.
I figured you would. See, that's why. I am a football player smart. I knew what an abacus was.
Do you know how to use one?
Yeah, you go like this with the thing and you do that. And then
Yeah,
that's what you do.
no one is going to correct you.
You just look really smart.
Yeah, if you
Close.
just carry the one and if you just do that, no one is going to correct you.
Oh my god, I like boobies. I just want to say that word. Oh my god, I love it because my streams have been getting flagged for hate speech and bullying. I love that because people that are coming from other channels come to my stream and then they click the button where you can say I was being mean, I was being a bully, and I was being hate speech. And YouTube just watches the video and they always release them, but I just think that's funny. We're not blowing up MetLife.
Does that increase your listenership? Does it increase your number of views when they do that? Do you get an extra one?
Honestly, I don't know if it does. We're not blowing anything up. We're not burning anything down. People are always talking about blowing stuff up. Dom's a dandy from old school term, from upper posh crust man, dressed in frills, from top hat and long coat for morning tea. I thought that's what Dom wore every day. I thought that was
pretty much. I dressed down for you guys.
And you wear the long night dress like they did in Scrooge.
With the cap.
Yeah, with cap. You walk around with your little your candle.
I'm the penguin. To continue the Batman theme.
You're the penguin. I think quads injuries are results of lack of hydration. You know what's funny? Odell Beckham used to get cramps and quad injuries when he was with the Giants because he wouldn't drink because he didn't like drinking water. Remember that? He said, I don't like drinking water. We'll drink some coffee down the sideline.
Anything will do.
Oh my God. Now that I mentioned it, MetLife's turf has claimed so many injuries. Let's get a new stadium. We can't get a new stadium. We paid $1 billion in that stadium.
Money well spent.
We can't get a stadium. I'm just irritated. Was Brian Flores a lesser choice in the eyes of the Giants front office compared to Judge Drone? Well, Flores was already coaching.
Flores was already in Dolphins, wasn't he?
He was already with the Dolphins when we hired him.
And he's had a good season. Oh, it's in.
No, it was his first season.
Better than expected.
He had better than he had a better expected season after they traded away all of his talent.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree with that. All right, here we go. Too much political politics and cultural references. I apologize. I may be an American, but I'm multicultural. Well, that's okay. That's all right. You and Dom just bring down the show. This is the show.
I'm going to throw Zachary in front of the bus as well. He started it.
Oh, Zachary. You know what, Zachary? It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Good kicking in here, bro. About to get ready for my show. Y'all be good, fellows. Killer stream. Thank you. I didn't see you, Mr. Authentic. You didn't leave any comments. I'm mad now. I'm upset now. I was going to go to your stream and say something brilliant. No, I'm not going to. Thank God I couldn't think of anything.
Enjoy the stream.
Enjoy the stream because I couldn't think of anything brilliant. Couldn't think of anything at all. I'd be talking about an abacus. All right, here we go. Soccer comes from posh British people. It is short for association football. Is that true?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Mostly. We don't call it soccer, of course.
What do you call it?
Football.
I know, I'm joking. Tim, do you know how to use a slide ruler? Yes, of course I do. I run really fast and then I slide. And I go, I rule. Is that what you meant? No, I don't know how to use a slide rule. Have you ever seen me do? Have you ever seen me do math? Have you ever watched the show Logic Express? You ever seen me do math? I'm just joking. I actually can do math. That's the one thing I can do. I can't spell for shit, but I can do math. What do we got here? Why not grab Willis? I say grab Willis. I say take the first pick, go defense, trade down, get Willis, bing a bang a boom, go offensive line late. You're good. Dom, go to France since the UK and France are best friends. Are they best friends? Do they hang out? No. Why doesn't France like you? I can't bring down the show by talking about stuff that I don't know about.
I mean, again, I can explain, but I personally have no issue with the French or French culture.
Hold that thought.
Actually.
Hold that thought. Don't explain. Don't explain. I don't need you to explain. You're just going to give me a headache. We all know what time it is because you know what? It's closing in on 6 o'clock. We all know what time it is. It's that time of day. It's that day where Dom comes in, hurls of wisdom, offers logic, puts us all to shame with his vast knowledge and experience of the NFL, football itself, the ability to make the most difficult seem easy. It's Dom. It's time. We're dropping this explosion.
Yeah.
Dom, what are your final thoughts?
So the reason the British and the French, is that not what you're after?
Okay. Well, you know what? Dom's not coming back. And we're going to be looking for a new host on NFL Talk from across the pond and back because Dom has been banned. You know what I'll do? I'll just be Dom. I'll just, Dom, what do you have to say? Oh, Tim, you're awesome. I really love your show. Joke T. Okay, you're back now.
There was nothing I could do. I was just stuck in the aura of back.
Okay, you know what? When you're going to stutter that much, I'm not going to keep you on the show. It's cute with the British accent for a minute.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Okay, you back now? Are you going to hold it together? Are you going to hold it together now?
I'll hold it together. It's very late. Although not as late as for Logic.
It's only 10:45.
Yeah, that's past my bedtime. I'm old. Not as old as you, but I'm old. I'm getting banned again, aren't I?
No, not yet.
Here you go then. So you're an ass.
You are. That's what you get for calling the co-host an ass. Now you have to sit. Now you have to sit in timeout, and then when you come out, you have to tell me what you did wrong. Okay.
I must tell the truth at all times.
I was like, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know. Setting the dog on fire wasn't wrong. No, I don't know. All right, Dom.
Who the hell does that?
It's a joke. It's the only thing I can think of. Do you want to get banned again? You want to get put back in Dom timeout?
You know.
There you go. All right, come on. What's your final thought?
All right, here you go. Look, there's been talks a lot about like Matt Nagy in Chicago losing job, Urban Meyer losing his job. Generally speaking, round about 5 to 8 head coaches every year. I'm not going to ask you to name where you think they will be, but I'm just going to throw a few out there at you. Coach, which one do you think out of these, where I think there will be head coach vacancies, would be the most attractive job and why? We talked Giants tonight, but we normally obviously do a show on the wider one. So Giants, Jags, Raiders, we know there's a vacancy. Bears, Seahawks, Vikings, Jets, Panthers, Broncos. Which one of those do you think, and I can do them again if you need them, do you think is the most attractive head coaching gig out there? Stunned silence.
No, I'm thinking about this. And you know what? And crazy as this may seem. Wait. Did you say Giants is a vacancy? Is the Giants a vacancy?
Yeah, I had that on the list, yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go with the Giants.
I mean, obviously, as Giants fans, it's a job we'd want, but...
Right. Was a job we want. No, I wouldn't even want the job. I wouldn't even want the job then. I'd rather coach the Redskins. Oh, I said it. I'd rather coach the team in Washington. Honestly, if you asked me that question seriously, I would take the Jags.
That was my pick.
That's if the quarter. Okay. You got Marvin Jones. You got DJ Shark. You got James Harrison. You have 2 okay offensive linemen. You have Trevor Lawrence. You have Miles Jack. You have Josh Allen. I can't think of who the kid is that's safety and the little kid at the corner. I mean, and plus it's Florida. It's nice. It's warm. I would go Jags.
You got some good picks again coming up in the draft.
You got some good picks coming up. You got a quarterback that I feel is Joe Namath-esque and has the ability. I mean, that's what I would. I would literally do that because of the fact that I think the Jags can turn this around when they're the London Lamplighters in 2 years. I really do think they can turn it around. I think they could be something special. And you have an owner that wants to win. And I know it's funny to say your owner wants to win, but there's some owners that are okay with not winning because you're going to get paid anyway because of the revenue sharing. But
Yeah.
you,
Hello, Denver.
Khan wants to win. Plus, I can go into the owner's office and go, Khan! From Wrath of
Yeah,
Khan,
but
like
you
Rolls
don't want
Royce.
to annoy him. You don't want to annoy him. I'm going to make myself look daft with a Star Trek reference. But you'd face the Wrath of Khan.
He would love me, the owner. We'd be
Everyone
buddies.
loves you.
I know they do. Who doesn't love me? I got a list. I got a list because I got a block list on YouTube, and I got a list of people that don't love me. But who would you check? Who would you pick?
I would have also picked the Jags. I mean, looking back at that list, I wouldn't go Seahawks. I think it's an organization where it's not in a great place, and hasn't necessarily got the draft capital there. The next one I would have picked, let's say you got the Jags job over me. The next one I'd have picked, funny enough, would have been the Bears. You're missing your first rounder this year, but I think Fields can be your quarterback, and I think having a young quarterback that could be your future franchise quarterback is half the battle. So that would have been the next one. But the difficulty there, of course, is that you probably haven't got the weapons of them right now, and the expectation levels are massively high for a team that hasn't, okay, it's been going to the postseason for a while, but has always sort of got there because someone had to be there rather than because they were a really good team. But that would be my next pick down, just because I think having the quarterback makes a big difference if you want to go forward.
Oh, I
As
agree.
we're finding out right now.
I agree. How's that?
As we're finding out right now, if you don't have the quarterback, things are much harder.
Yes, you find that that fight easily. You find that out, and I can't talk right now because my wife is going out. So she just texted me telling me that she's leaving. She's not leaving me. She's just leaving the house.
She listened to me for long enough, has she?
She's had enough. Was she texting you now? Is that what that bing was?
No.
Is she texting you now to let you know that she's leaving me?
Yeah. She's flying to the UK tomorrow.
She's watch it.
Has she taken a lateral flow test?
You forgot one thing. I'm a lot bigger than you. And I will get on a plane. That's the problem. You have
know where I live.
And I know where you live. You're right. I do know where you live. Oh my God. I have your address. Oh my God. You should be scared.
I live in a town where you have to put the road sign with a dent in it, because if you put an F in the front of it, it spells a very naughty word.
Succotash.
That's Bob on.
Oh my God. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Well, wait, but there's a good question right here though. Speaking of Miles Jacks, I know Mr. Alvarez, you've said this before. We could have had Jacks, White, Allen, Montez Sweat, and Parsons. We suck. At least she's leaving you with the sangria. No, we threw out the sangria fruit. We had to get rid of the sangria fruit. And
all got arrested for drink driving.
Drink driving? Is that what that's called in the UK? It's drunk driving. It's drunk driving here.
Same thing.
Yeah, you could drink water and drive.
You're not getting nicked for that, though, are you?
We had to get rid of the fruit. We had to get rid of the fruit because the fruit all of a sudden started becoming its own entity. It started walking around the refrigerator eating things. So we had to get rid of the fruit. It was alive. It was good fruit, though. I didn't have any, though. Dom, do you have any final thoughts before we close this out?
I did my final thought. You can't ask me to do two. It's hard enough coming up with one.
Okay, just because Dom doesn't know how to come up with two final thoughts, we're just gonna leave him there. You're back. You're back. You were banned for a minute, but you're back now.
Here you go. He says he wants sass. I give him sass. I get banned.
You didn't give me sass. You gave me sauce. I need sass, not sauce. Oh, that's why I love you.
Just because you're going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach doesn't mean you have to get all.
And I'm going to be the GM of the Giants. I found that out today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be world famous radio host by doing 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
At least you can do your own publicity, your own PR. You're fine.
You know what the worst thing was? This was the worst thing about the radio thing. It's a small radio station in upstate New York. It's a very small radio station. And we were talking, and he goes, you'll probably have the same amount of listeners doing overnights that you have on a normal video. So maybe 700 to 1,000 people are going to be listening. I was like, that's not doing radio. That's me. I can just yell out the window and have that work out. He actually found that funny. because I actually said that out loud. It was one of those things again that my brain didn't catch up with my mouth. But yeah, I was like, wow, that's not a lot of people. Because people are like, it's so glamorous. It'll be so glamorous. No, it's not going to be glamorous. Plus, you got to be at night. Oh my God. Yo, yeah, Dom, do the Staten Island. Do your Staten Island accent.
No.
That wasn't a very good one.
You shocked me.
I think
my impressions are so good.
I think you could do better than that.
I mean, what's the difference between a Staten Island accent and, say, a Manhattan accent or a Bronx accent? You're going to have to educate me here.
Well, I have no clue. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Oh, James. Hope you're having a good day. I hope anyone that knows Armando's out there. Armando is having a bad day last couple days ago. So if anyone knows Armando, tell him online Big Blue and Dom said hey. And the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. We stuck with a day that's gray and lonely. Just stick up your chin and grin and say, we're out of here. Good night, everyone. Hope everyone appreciates it. Tim is doing overnight. So Mike Lee, I'm not telling you where I'm doing it. I will make the announcement in the middle of January. No, actually, I'll make because it's going to start in January. I will give the announcement in about 2 weeks if everything works out legally and contractually. I'm having Dom review the contracts.
Don't worry, I'll read it 5 times. I might catch every word by the 5th reading.
The 5th reading. Your 5th reading, I'll be picking up garbage on the side of the road somewhere. Dom, I appreciate you coming out.
Sangria fruit.
I'll find the sangria fruit because I'll be walking around. I appreciate everyone in the chats. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? You'll have to shoot me. You'll have to shoot me an email for that. I will shoot you an email, or Tim will do. I'm not telling you where. It's upstate New York. I'm not telling you where. If you really needed to figure out, you probably could figure it out. But I'm not telling you where. Actually, legally, I cannot say yet. Legally, so I can't really. I can talk about it, but I can't say anything about the call letters or anything else legally because of the fact that I have not signed a contract. So it's Taco Tuesday. Anyone want to have tacos? I want to come over and want some. I'm gonna come over and have some tacos.
Oh, I'm getting quite hungry.
It is late your time. James, thank you, sir. Tim, Dom, have a good one. James, I appreciate it. James, I told you I am going to the game January 8th. I guess it's the Washington game. If you're heading out there and you want to meet up, let me know. I'm going to be at the game. I am going to go to the last game. No other final thoughts, Dom? Anything you want to say goodbye to? Anything going on?
No, just thanks on your behalf, and I know you said it already for the donations tonight, and I hope that I'm sure will help those kids. So again, thank you for that. Thanks for the great comments. I really enjoyed it as I did last week. So really fun.
Real fun, guys. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll have a new video tomorrow, and we are going to close this out by saying we couldn't do this if it wasn't for you guys, and it's a great appreciation. Like I said, I always feel honored that you allow me to do this, and greatest fans in the world. And you're not fans, you're not subscribed, you're my friends, and I will talk to you tomorrow.